man. He's gonna be all right. Man. Oh, man, inside the head, bro.
On Sunday, September 25th, 2022, around 9 p.m., 25-year-old Jaylen Lewis, a father of two, was fatally shot in the head by Mississippi Capitol Police. These are the images from the Twitter account Justice for Jaylen Lewis. These disturbing photos of Jaylen Lewis's car shows multiple shots. Notice how the window was not rolled down. Why was Jaylen Lewis approached by Mississippi Capitol Police? Jaylen's mother, Miss Lewis, says that no one has contacted her about what happened to Jaylen. No officer's name have been released as of yet. Mississippi Capitol Police is an organization set by statute. This agency is not responsible to law enforcement. This force is hired by contract. The State Capitol Police Department functions as a standalone subsidiary of MDPS and collaborates with existing sworn personnel. The move was made possible by a bill signed by Governor Tate Reeves. However, is the Mississippi Capitol Police, this contracted force, held to the same standards? On July 2021, both Governor Tate Reeves and Sean Tinsdall introduced this initiative by holding this
I want
press
to recognize
conference.
these individuals because it's with their leadership and experience that we were able to launch this initiative. And it's one of the reasons why I know the legislature and the governor supported these changes to help bring together state law enforcement to provide greater safety and resources for the citizens of this state. With the Capital Safety Initiative, the citizens will see a greater presence of state law enforcement operating within the city of Jackson. The Mississippi Highway Patrol will be operating saturation units along the I-55, I-20, and I-220 corridors, as well as state highways located within the city. Within the Capitol Complex District, Capitol Police will be saturating its resources along the streets of the Capitol District, ensuring that all available Capitol Police officers are mobilized in their vehicles, creating a greater visibility within the Capitol District. As many of you know, the Capitol District extends from Jackson State University all the way to I-55 and up into the Fondren area or just past the University of Mississippi Medical Center. Lastly, the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics will be increasing its clandestine drug operations with its federal and state and local partners within the city of Jackson. Often what the Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics does is unrecognized. They're not uniformed officers, but they will be launching operations. I'd like to applaud the Mississippi legislature and its leadership for its foresight. When other states are talking about defunding police, cutting back on state resources for police and law enforcement, the state of Mississippi has stepped up. We just graduated a patrol class of 45. Our goal for the future is to have 600 highway patrolmen, 150 Capitol Police officers, 150 Mississippi Bureau of Narcotics agents. And as we increase the presence of state law enforcement, we feel we can make our community safer, not just those in the capital city.
In summary, this initiative introduced by Governor Tate Reeves to combine law enforcement was to address the rising crime rate issue. But the question remains, what crime did Jaylen Lewis commit? And more importantly, why hasn't the family or the community received any answers? From the time that this happened on September 25th, 2022, where we're at today being February, what is it, the 8th, the 9th?
The 9th.
But go ahead, where are we at right now in terms of information, bringing justice, any updates?
Nothing. I have not gotten a report. I have not been contacted at all since Jaylen has been killed. Nothing. Nobody has reached out to me. With the help of DANI, I wouldn't even know some of the things that I know now as far as who to contact. if it wasn't for, her reaching out to help me. But no, I ended up getting a redacted report. I didn't know anything about what that was, and reached out to get it, and she ended up getting it first and sent it to me.
Wow.
And pretty much everything was sealed, so there was nothing. All it had in the redacted report was that it was a traffic violation, which it wasn't a traffic violation because he and his friend was only riding. But that's it. That's all they had in the report.
Help me understand this. Let me ask this again,
Okay.
just so I understand this piece. You're asking for a report. You don't get the report, but DANI Robertson gets the report before you do?
Yep. She called and she got it. She found out about a report because they told her that I was 100% able to get a report the whole time. A young lady also told, because they didn't know that she records her conversation, so she allowed me to hear. And the lady told her she was 100% sure that somebody had contacted me and that I was able to get a report. And it was a redacted report. So, like I said, it was nothing. I can't even get my son autopsy or copy of that. I was told by the coroner's office when I called them that until it goes to trial, this is an ongoing investigation. That's when I will be able to get the report, the autopsy report, when it goes to trial.
Let's go back a little bit to the time that you found out what happened, September 25th, and it was at night, right?
Right.
Who called you? How did it go down?
September 25th, getting ready for work, going to bed, and I get a call from my daughter. I believe it was 9:30 p.m. And she told me that someone had called her. I think it was one of her classmates, somebody she went to high school with, and they had contacted her and told her that they thought they saw my son in the vehicle that he was in, and she thought that he had gotten shot. And from then on there, and I live in Georgia, so, and my son is in Mississippi, was in Mississippi at the time. And so that's what happened. And
you got to the hospital before the ambulance did. Is that correct?
I didn't, because my daughters did. They were there. I couldn't even get a flight out. All flights
because you're in Georgia. That's right.
So I had to take a flight out that morning. But my daughters were actually on the scene when it happened. They came to the scene. One of my daughters, my middle daughter, was actually recording, and she got put in handcuffs because they said she didn't know what she was doing. She was trying to record what was going on, and they didn't take her to jail, but they did put her in handcuffs. I guess they wanted to I guess they did arrest her. They just didn't take her in because she was recording. But they were on the site. My son, from what I was told, my son had called one of his friends. And by the time his friend got there, my son was already pretty much gone. He said when he made it to the scene that the ambulance was there, but my son was on the stretcher, just laying there. And he said they told him to go ahead and go on to the hospital. And the hospital, there's 2 hospitals about 3 minutes from this area where they were. And he said he went on to the hospital, and he said they didn't come till like 45 minutes later. They told him to go on. So basically they said my son was just on the stretcher bleeding out. And whoever this paramedic was that gave him the go to go ahead to the hospital, I think it was a female. I'm not sure who she is, but everybody was standing out there, the Capitol State Police, the paramedics, and my son was laying out on the stretcher.
Bleeding out.
And this was before my daughters, of course, got to the scene at the time. But he had also, I don't know if you know, he had a friend, a
With
young
him.
lady with him.
Yes. What did
And
she see? Do you know?
yeah, she said that I guess before my son called his friend, the reason that he did call his friend is because the area that they were riding in was not a well lit area,
Hmm.
and my son had got paranoid. He got scared because whoever was following them didn't have any lights on, and they
Unmarked.
in an unmarked car.
Yes.
When they stopped at the traffic light or the stop sign, I'm not exactly sure, but she said that there was a police officer already standing on foot with his gun drawn um, to my son's head. So he was standing in front of them. Now, mind you, the vehicle that they're in, the windows are tint. So how could they know if my son was in there or if his children, if I was in there? And she said, my son said, "Oh shit." That's what she said, because she said he got scared, and the Capitol State Police just killed my son, shot him in his head.
Did she how was she treated after? I mean, what happened with
She was
her?
not treated nicely. They pulled her out of the car and told her that she was lucky to be alive. She was already traumatized. Um, she said they pulled her out. They took her phone. They put her in the police car, I believe. I don't believe they took her to jail, but they did take her phone. She said she could tell that they had been going through her messages, she and Jaylen's messages. She said, "I don't know why, because me and Jaylen, all we talk about is, hey, when we're going to hang out, because they were friends or whatever, nothing more." And that's it. I guess they thought they were going to find something. I don't know, but that's, yeah, pretty much what she said. And she said that they didn't identify themselves. They didn't give Jaylen a chance to identify himself. And she said, once they shot my baby, they, that's when she noticed the lights flipped on.
Oh
Um,
man.
and that's how they found out it was a police officer. The police officers, I guess, were behind them.
Did she tell you what she was doing, what they were doing in that area? Like, what was the point of going to
They
that
were
area?
just riding, young
Just riding.
kids just riding. Hmm.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Okay.
And I believe they were headed back to his house.
When was the last time you had any contact with anybody, whether it's medical, the police, or any of these, Sean Tinsdale, for example, or any of these big, government heads? Has anybody like called you? Uh,
Nobody, not one person. Since this has happened, I have had nobody to call me. I don't feel like anybody cares about what has happened to my son. No one. The only person that has reached out to me, that's helping me, that's trying to, working on just helping me with this, is my pastor that's home, and his name is Pastor Dwayne Pickett.
yes.
Other than that, no officials, no one, no one.
So you're told what happened, right?
Right.
Then you're given the car.
I'm
Have you
sorry.
seen? Then you're given the car that they were in. Have you
I
seen?
was released. The vehicle was released 2 weeks after.
Was it cleaned out or anything? Did they?
No, ma'am. There were two shots two bullet holes on my son on the driver's side, and I believe three on the dash. Oh well, the front window, and there was blood all on the seat. No, nothing.
Oh man. So he didn't even roll down the window to
No,
to greet the person that shot him.
no, he did not.
I don't did I mean it seems like he didn't even know what was coming.
He didn't.
I'm sorry. He passes away the following day.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was pronounced dead. September 26th at I believe it was 12:30.
Lord. Miss Lewis, you haven't had time to grieve, have you?
No, and I had to come back to work.
I'm so sorry.
But no, I have not had time. No.
Where are we at in terms of Justice. I know DANI has been a support, your pastor. But where are we at in terms? And the petition is there as well for people to sign. I know that there's ways in which we can get some attention to some of these folks through civil complaints. But anything else that you can tell us that we can do?
Well, I my family and I do have an attorney. His name is Mr. Lee Merritt,
Okay.
and we just, I guess we just have to be patient. That's I I don't know. I don't know.
It seems unacceptable to me to be
Yeah.
patient in a situation because I understand that these uh, Mississippi Capitol Police is not held to the same standards as other agencies. I
No,
went,
from what I hear, they're trying to pass. I'm sorry.
no,
They're
go
trying
ahead, ma'am.
to pass more laws. Proposing to pass more laws. I believe it's um, a bill for 1020 or something, where they're trying to get more jurisdiction. And I could be wrong, but I know this is one of the bills that they have. Um, they're trying to pass. They're trying to give the Capitol State Police more jurisdiction over the city of Jackson, which is really, honestly, it's more of a urban, an urban community, urban areas. So
Absolutely. It's amazing. So they're allowed to walk without a uniform, unmarked cars, and basically do whatever they want with weapons. That's what
yeah,
it sounds like.
we had a protest about 2 Fridays ago, maybe 3 Fridays ago, and they had drones flying. It was only like 20 of us, and they had drones flying over our head, police on horses. They were driving by. And I mean, it was a nonviolent protest. We were just standing in front of the Capitol building marching. And you would have thought we were having riots and things like that. And it wasn't even like that.
Do we know if any of the officers were like an administrative leave or anything like that after the?
From what I heard, not too long after it happened, they were placed on administrative leave with pay. But from what I heard now, they're back on the job.
Wow. Okay. I'm sorry. I it's we're online and everything, but I could feel the frustration over. I think we have to just keep pushing, you know? We have to keep bringing attention and anything that we can do on social media, the better, you know? When is the next, is there going to be another protest coming up soon? What can we do as social media people? Um, what else can we do to support?
Oh, well, it's so hard now that I'm here and I really want to be there doing something. But when I'm there, I don't know what to do either because nobody is moving. Just if I could just, I don't know, get my son's story out, get the word out more,
Yes,
just get it, I don't know, into the right hands. I don't know. I don't know.
absolutely. Jaylen was a father of two.
Yes.
How how are the children doing?
Well, they're fine. They don't really, understand. They're um, really young. So they're not older than 4. His daughter just turned 4, and his son is 2. So they don't really understand. So you know, which I'm glad about that. I mean, it's.
I've heard when I was talking about the, Jaylen Lewis and everything, and we were making some comparisons to Tyree Nichols and all this other stuff. And it's unfortunate that we're having to do that, right? The way in which the situation was approached. But a lot of my people and my subs had said that Mississippi police is something else. Like the way in which they treat the civilians, the way in which they interact, their government, the branch, the way it's set up, it's something else.
It's something else, and then the residents are different there as well. They are almost conditioned not to say anything.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like, I mean, yeah, it's just it's
It's the
mind
good old
boggling.
boy, the good
It's
old boy mentality,
it's
right?
a
It
good old boy.
exudes
Yes,
everywhere.
I've been trying to find people who have been affected by this same police force. No one has spoken up. No one has said anything. I don't know if they're afraid or what, but I mean, I can't be quiet.
No,
I can't.
no. We will continue to share the petition. We'll
Thank
continue
you.
to make, I believe it's like a civil complaint that people are making
Yes.
to help. If there's any information about, is there going to be any more protests in the future?
Hopefully, if I can get some things together while I'm here. Yeah,
Because you're
probably.
traveling back and forth, right? You're traveling back and forth?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and that must be very difficult, right? Given that, you're not in Mississippi. Georgia is your
Right. It's
state.
really well. Actually, I just came back. I was in Mississippi. I've been in Mississippi up until about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So I'm back, and it's been really hard.
Okay.
This is
Are
my.
your daughters in Mississippi?
I have two that's in Mississippi that's getting
Okay.
ready to head this way because they can't. They don't want to be, there anymore. But um, it's been hard since I've been back because I feel like I'm letting my son down. Like, you know, I don't, like there's more that I can do, but I don't know what to do, and so it's been different.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, I think that hopefully with time, and as people are pushing, whether it's you or your daughters, or even if it's us on social media, that we keep reminding people about what's going on, whether it's the petition, and keep pushing, hopefully we'll, you know, bring some closure. And if not closure, justice. That's what it is. Justice is
Okay.
what we need to bring to Jaylen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you talking to me. I mean, I knew it wasn't gonna be a long, like, this is um just reading some of what has happened. I can only imagine how tragic, and I don't want to re-traumatize or anything like that. I'm trying to be very careful. Um, you
Well, thank
know,
you.
absolutely, absolutely. And I really, I hope that you and your family come to a point, where, all right, this is justice, and we're going to move forward. And I'll be praying for you and your fam as well.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I ask you to please review and sign the petition. Let's stand behind the Lewis family, the community, and apply pressure and awareness. This is Rabbit from Down the Rabbit Hole News. Thank you for your support.